Lots and lots of stories.
What was the greatest sudden adventure?
My greatest sudden adventure. Well, my son had a friend, a really good friend, who moved away during the middle of middle school. He had this knack for finding friends whose fathers were pilots or in the service. So it just meant that we had to go visit them, because once you're my friend, you're always my friend, and I like to keep up with you. So this friend moved to Missouri, and we had him at our house for 2 weeks, and then we drove him home, and we stayed with him for a week. And, we got there fine, not a problem. I believe we had the old triptych then, where you kind of just kept flipping the map. This was before GPSs and phones, okay? On the day that we decided to leave, this friend's father said to me, "Oh yeah, it's really easy. Just take," I'll say it was Highway 75. I don't remember what it was. "But take Highway 75 and just keep heading north." Okay, that sounds pretty simple. So we hopped on 75. We started going north. And we're talking and chatting as we do, we pass the time by either playing the alphabet game, which gets really old after like the third time through. And all of a sudden I noticed signs were not what I was expecting. And the area didn't look familiar anymore. When you've traveled a road, you kind of remember seeing, oh, I remember that or this. I didn't remember a lot of what we were seeing. So I turned to my son, who I think he must have been in 5th grade, because they had just done an assignment called the Nifty 50. And the Nifty 50 was, of course, as it sounds, learning about the different states. So I turned to him and I said, "Hey, do you remember the Nifty 50? And he said, "Yeah." And I said, "Is Missouri to the west or the east of Iowa?" And he kind of hesitated for a second and put down the video game he was playing and looked around and said, "We're going the wrong way, aren't we?" I said, "Yeah," because we had just passed a sign that said Omaha, Nebraska. So Nebraska's here, Iowa's here, Wisconsin's here. This is a really long stretch when you're supposed to be up north in Wisconsin by no later than 5 o'clock that night. We didn't make it. But we did see all of Iowa. Every cornfield, and there's a lot of cornfields in Iowa. And we just kind of started making a joke about corn. Look, there's corn. And then all of a sudden, Jimmy peeps up with soybeans. Corn. It was the longest trip through Iowa. And like I said, had we not done that, we would never have known how much corn there really is in Iowa. But it was fun. It was a lot of fun. And we have a story to share forever. If I know somebody's traveling, especially if they're doing a road trip, I make sure that I'm online with them one way or another. I'm either checking in by a text saying, everything okay? What's the hotel look like? Things like that. I just don't want them to ever feel like they're hanging out there alone. That's basically how I've kind of translated my mishaps into helping people get where they need to go. And that's, by checking and double checking and making sure you sit down with the person and they know where they're headed.
What should they do with your videos?
Watch them.
Why?
Because it's me. Because why wouldn't you? I mean, come on.